What is up, guys? Jake from OneHive here with the next Death of a Town Hall 10 video, but this one's going to be a little different than what you've seen in the past. You see, I'm over at Prime. They had an arranged war, and this is going to be a Town Hall 9 version of Death of a Town Hall 10. Now, it's not what you're thinking. We're not talking about a Town Hall 9 base. We're talking about Town Hall 9s taken out of Town Hall 10. Obviously, it's early, but it's a well laid out base. It's a difficult one, so let's take a look at that base and see what we're talking about. All right, here's the base we're looking at, and obviously you can see who got the 3-star in the corner there, so maybe you can pause it, think about how you would attack this base and see if what these guys come up with is the same or a little bit different than what you thought of. But let's get right to the first attack. All right, here we're checking out Nate taking on this base, and now this is not the first attack on this base. In fact, I'm not going to show you every attack that was done on this base, just sort of what, in my opinion, was the path that led to the 3-star. So this was the first one that sort of went for it with the queen walk and going in there and getting it done. I think the previous attempts were pretty much 2-star attempts or safe attempts to get that anyways. But right here drops a few minions on the right side, drops his queen down on the left side. You see he's got the quake spells. He's going to drop those in, open everything up, allow the queen to get in there, get to that air defense, and get over to the queen. And if she continues her walk on through, get to that second air defense even. So pretty good value if she makes it all the way through. Just 1 point defense at a time, really beating on her here, so those healers are doing their job just fine. And really nice that he had those minions down because they're taking out a lot of those high HP buildings that the queen would have walked around, would have messed with. Instead, she's going to push into the base as soon as she gets done with this one storage that made it through with a little help from that wizard. Then the queen's going to engage, goes ahead and rages up, make sure that she's not going to go down to that. Very smart. Takes her out, and then she's going to get onto that cannon. Now, here in just a minute, you'll see right here, unfortunately, the healers get in range of that air defense, and now the queen is engaged on these heroes, on these clan castle troops. Got the poison down, doing the best he can, but he is just getting healers picked off one at a time here. Finally, rages up again, gets the CC troops taken care of, gets that town hall taken care of, and then the queen can step over and get onto that air defense. Now, it just got like 2 healers left. The single inferno has gotten onto his queen, but really nice timing. I mean, she was about to go down, going very, very quickly, but pops that ability just right. She clears what she can. She can't reach the inferno, so she backs out, and the healers get her healed back up. So nice job there. Now coming in from the top, a couple of golems, and some wizards just trying to push in here. I really don't know that he had an exit strategy here. This might have been just the beginning of, will this work? What will happen if I get my queen in there? What will she get? And besides that, it was just percentage points because really there was no strategy, left over here. It was just golems and wizards taking out all those trash buildings and sending the king in. So we'll fast forward through that. But again, I think this was probably just the beginning of a game plan. That's how it starts. Hey, test this out for me. Let's see if this works. Let's see what happens if we try this. It's just a test it, see if it goes, and if you might learn something from it. Oh, that works. That we need to use that in our attack. Or no, that was no good. We need to revise it. So probably what this attack was, but very nicely done by Nate. Let's move on to the next one. All right, Zphone is the next one, and he is the first to use the Zap Quake, which I think is a great game plan, especially where the positioning of that air defense is right next to there. I think he gets a little bit greedy here. You see he's trying to drop it just off to the side a little bit, maybe even try to get all 3 of those, which he gets 2 of them, but man, that Inferno Tower has just a sliver of life left. When you're Town Hall 9 and you've only got those level 6 lightning spells, you've got to put them right on top of those Inferno Towers, otherwise they will not go down. It'll happen like that every time if you get just even a little bit greedy. So play it safe and get those taken out. Obviously, this has pretty much ended his attack, but what's important here is that he sort of shown another way in. Didn't use the quakes. Over there, you used some wall breakers, pushed in with the king and queen here. Obviously, if that Inferno Tower was down, wanted to get in here, get the queen taken care of, which is already done, get to that next air defense, and just get the value for that. The CC troops, obviously, get those taken care of. Right here, the poison spell was a little off. You see that some of those troops came out, and then they kind of stopped because the target attacking troops kind of went back a little bit. Now you see as they move forward again back into range, that poison spell is way off. Didn't get any of that witch that's in there. The balloon's still up. I mean, it's starting to go down here, but that witch especially, just so much trouble for your heroes, especially when you're in range of another defense like this archer tower. Firing in, tries to use that queen's ability to get it done, but you see that witch just spawning those skeletons, taking every shot that the queen puts out. Before she quite gets her down, spawns another one. She's still taking damage from the archer tower. Finally gets a beat on her. One shots that witch, but even more skeletons out before the queen finally succumbs to that archer tower, and that is that. Now, this was the plan after that. But you have to imagine in your mind here, sort of, if that had all went better, the air defense on the right would have been down, the Inferno Tower on the right would have been down. This would look pretty solid at this point. So I think that sort of gave a light bulb off in their minds. Hey, this could work. That was obviously a little bit rough. Some things went wrong, but doesn't mean scrap the whole plan, that it wasn't a good game plan. I think it definitely was. You see the first Inferno Tower goes down. There's that air defense going down. That would have been the last air defense to go down right there. A few back-end balloons, but with that sweeper, the Inferno Tower, that air defense on the right still standing. Obviously, his balloons are about to get roasted, which is exactly what happens. Those Teslas do a lot of work. Everything just going down too quick. But again, if it had the start of it went a little bit better, probably would have been a pretty solid attack. So let's fast forward through this one. We'll show what it ended up being, and then we will go on to the next attempt, which is from, actually, I'm going to have to watch and look at the name to pronounce it. Be right back. All right, the next attempt's from Stara. Sorry about that. My scribbling, I couldn't read. I knew it was started with ST, but that was it. Stara going in and starting to use pretty much the same game plan, but this time really focuses that Inferno Tower. The 3 zaps, take it out. Still has the Quake spell. Tries to get that air defense taken out, but just, I mean, look, there's like no bar in there. But just doesn't quite get it. But it doesn't matter. That's not the goal here. The goal was the Inferno Tower. That was the important thing. Creating that funnel with those minions and then pushes in. This time, brings a golem. I don't believe that the last attacker brought the golem, so just sort of swap that out, put the golem in there, and start sending everything in here. Now you'll see also has 4 lava hounds. Now that's going to come into play in the next attack. When that gets to 3 stars, there's going to be a slight change there, but you can keep your eye on that and the 17 balloons. The king is on that wall. The queen has not stepped out, so she's putting quite a bit of damage on that king. Here come the CC troops. Pretty good placement on that particular poison. Right there, you see the queen's finally going to come over and take out that defending queen. But man, she did some work. She just didn't quite jump out that time and engage right there at the last few CC troops coming out. That witch never actually got into that poison long enough to go down. So once again, the only redeeming factor here is that the queen is not in range of any defenses. She's dealing with this queen all on her own, or this witch all on her own. And it's tough to do, but right there finally uses that ability and gets her down. So now the queen is going to step up, get that air defense taken care of. So a little bit better on the opener here. So they got it quite right. That witch causing some trouble, but did get the air defense taken care of. Here come the lava hounds and the balloons. You see sending all these lava hounds in very quickly. I think maybe too quickly. You see as soon as that one pops, this single inferno gets back onto another lava hound. It goes down very quickly. One up top goes down very quickly from the traps and the Teslas and the air defense. So his lava hounds are just melting right here. Right there, the second, and the good thing about a single Inferno Tower, if a lava hound explodes and the balloons aren't quite there yet, a lot of times the pups will be there and they'll take those shots, and that's very efficient for the attacker, for a single Inferno to be focusing on those lava pups for a few moments. So sometimes spamming those lava hounds in very quickly like that isn't always the best play. But as you see, as they get to the right side of this base, even though the Inferno Tower is down, with no lava hound to tank for him, that Wizard Tower, those Teslas, and that Sweeper sort of pushing him back, just absolutely melt his balloons, and just doesn't have enough to get through there. But a very, very good try. That was a very good attempt and so close. You see just a few defenses just couldn't go down. Needed that little bit of tanking and would have had it. But let's go back and watch the actual 3-star attempt and see how it was finally all put together to get the win. All right, Asterix coming in and finally getting the job done here. I think this base absorbed 7 attacks, pretty much all of those. I think all of them. Maybe one wasn't. Maybe one was a brand new Town Hall 10. Pretty much all of them Town Hall 9 attacks. But they, again, when you've got that many extra Town Hall 9s and you do a great job on your Town Hall 9s, cleaning them up quickly, you can throw these attacks at these 10s and it makes a big, big difference. So right there, taking the Inferno Tower out, starting with the minions down at the bottom, creating that funnel. Now look at the, I'm sorry, I said it was 4 lava hounds previously. It's still 4 in this one. But dropping the lava or the golem down here, the minions creating that funnel, the queen goes down, everything's going to push in here. But look at the angle on the queen, that's a little bit different too. Wanted that queen to be closer to the defending queen. You saw how much damage that defending queen did the last time. Wants to try to prevent that if possible. Right there, the wall breakers go down, the king comes. She does jump the wall. And look how quickly that that attacking queen gets on her. Just a few shots and she's done. She's targeting that golem. Beautiful deployment right there. Beautiful minor adjustment to save life of that golem, save life of this king, allow everything just to go a little bit smoother here. You see everything dumping out. Really patient on that poison. Look at that. Learned there's lesson finally on that witch. Knew that before anything else, had to target that witch. That witch had to go down to the poison, which obviously, being patient like that, wait until the witch gets in position, then dropping it ensures that was going to happen. The king's still up. The golems into golemites, but I got a couple golemites, so right there, one goes down. Now the queen's going to step up, get that air defense. Now everything is looking great at this point. The queen's going to even get a little bit more value. Still has the queen's ability, and there's some high value targets right there. X-bow, actually she can't quite get to the X-bow with that king being through the wall. She can. X-bow, sweeper, Archer Tower, huge value for the rest of this little queen walk here. Doesn't quite get that X-bow taken care of. Oh, she does. I thought those skeletons took her out, but she does. So again, just so different on the right side of the space, how that went down. And then here comes the lava hounds, the balloons. You see how she was a little more patient on the deployment of the lava hounds. Didn't spam them in there quite as quickly. Let some of those pups do some tanking for that inferno tower. And then right here, the big difference. Nice split on the balloons there, soaking up some more of those bombs and taking out that air defense. Now this lava hound gets out in front, starts taking some fire from these Teslas, and when he moves forward, takes some fire from this wizard tower, etc. Finally goes down here in just a second, explodes, which is pretty much perfect timing. A few back end balloons right here in just a moment. Boom, right there, explodes, which is great. That is going to be just what he needs, just a few extra cleanup troops, and nothing else can hurt his air troops. They got a pretty good spread out here, moving around, just taking everything out of the base and getting the 3-star. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, I'm a little under the weather. I apologize. Doing my best to push through, bring you guys some good videos. Until next time, Jake from OneHive, doing my best to help you guys suck less.